Hello, how is everyone? I hope you're all keeping well. I'm here busy making mini folios. I think that's what we call them, isn't it? Anyway, I'm making these to go with my latest project. I need to make 5. And I've made 1, so I thought, it worked out not too bad, so I thought I'd put the camera on and do another in front of the camera. I've got to do 5. I've got 4 more to do, but I'll only do just 1 on camera because that sorry, it's late at night and I've got a croaky voice now. They take a while to make, so I don't know if I'd get it all completely finished in time before the end of the video. I hope so. We'll see. But at least if I can get the basics of it done, and you know, you can go off and embellish the way you would want to. So they're not difficult, just a little bit time consuming. So I'll just I'll show you what I've done. I've attached some lace as my closure, and I've stitched a button onto the lace that's gone on the edge. So, and then over this lace I've glued this one, as you can see, and then on the inside we have a belly band and a tuck spot, corner tuck spot, and side opening pocket, 2 small pockets, and another 2 here, and another side opening pocket, and it just closes up like so. Alright, these are made out of envelopes, so I will tell you what I used, and give you some alternatives if I can think of any. Yeah, so and then we'll get going. What I used was 2 envelopes this size. I didn't really want them any taller because my mini journals are around this size. So and then I have some scrapbooking paper which I've used on the cover, and I used some paint. I did a bit of mixed media on the cover, and a napkin, just a part of a napkin. I didn't cover the whole cover with the napkin. I don't know if you can see that. There's the paper, the scrapbooking paper I've used has got a pattern in it, and then I've gone over it with a little bit of white here and there, very lightly, and my white is transparent, so some of the patterning can show through. And then I've used a different colour for stencils, and then when that was dry I glued on napkin. Just took a piece out of it, and yeah, that's what I've done there. And then on the interior I've put some heavier weight card or scrapbooking paper. It's like, you know, it's quite a bit heavier weight, and I've used glue to attach that. That's actually attached to the flap of one of the envelopes, and then I used the same paper as I used on the cover on one side, and and I also used it to glue a piece of the napkin on, and I made a tuck spot out of that piece. And again, I've done the mixed media on this one. And then the other two, I've used heavyweight paper to create the side, two side tuck spots, and also the 4 small pockets. And then I've just embellished it with whatever I had on my table, pretty much, almost. I had to dig out some other bits and pieces, but yeah. So they're really cute, and they make really good small items that you can send off to someone, jam-packed with bits and pieces for Happy Mail, or just an addition to a journal. One of these with a few bits and pieces in, tucked into a large pocket in a journal, or you know, if you've got a shop online, one of these just packed with a few bits on its own, even little folios. So I thought you might like to see how I put this together. All right, if you don't want to do mixed media, that's fine. I didn't have any quite heavyweight sort of and actually no, I didn't, no, not that, not I don't even know what I'm talking about here. I didn't have any lightweight paper that had pretty print on it, like florals or anything like that. Everything like that I've got is in like a heavier weight sort of scrapbook paper. And on the envelopes, I wanted to keep them fairly sort of soft, and so I didn't want to put anything too thick over them for the covers. I wanted to keep them, you know, relatively sort of soft. Another option is you could do some paint and stenciling and what have you, and have it as decorative as you choose, and then put a topper on it if you like. I didn't really want to have anything else on this. I just wanted to leave it relatively plain. And the interior you can embellish up as much as you want, or just leave it plain, you know. Yeah. All right. I'm gonna just get on and make it. Welcome to my channel. Welcome back, I should say, or welcome if you're a first-time person here. All right. Now I'm just using 2 envelopes for this. You can, I'll show you how if you want to use more than 2, I'll show you how to do that. I don't tend to do that for something this size. I do that more for a bigger folio, but I can show you how. All right, so for the first one, this is how it's going to go together. Is we're going to just put some glue to the crease, and I'm gonna, so I know where my crease is, I'm just going to fold it back this way, because I found when I did the other one it was hard to tell where the crease was. So I'll just pop a hole back in my glue. I don't have one of those, I don't have a pin for my glue bottle yet. And the last one I had in here went rusty, so I have to unblock it every time I go to use it. So I hope everyone's been well. I've been very, very busy on and off throughout the day for the last few days. And crafting my life away here. You just on the flap, on the inside of the flap, just put glue all the way around the edge and a little bit in the center. Just make sure it's all around the edge, right? And then you put this envelope with the open side facing out into onto the flap where you've glued. Just make sure that it's not too close to the crease by lifting up, and it needs to close easily. All right, and then just press it all down, smoosh that glue around. Okay, so now when you get to this point, if you want to add a third envelope, which will give you another pocket opening, you can easily do that by using the flap and putting one on there, and then this would fold in, or you could fold it that way if you wanted. I would have it so that it folds in, so that my front of the folio is still opening from right to left, rather than my folio opening from left to right. Okay, so that's, yeah, how I would do that, but I'm not having more than 2 envelopes. So once that's glued, like that, I'm going to turn it over so that the flap that I have got free is on my left. I've got so much crap on my table. I have not had time to clean up after all my cards and tags. I've kept everything sort of on the table because I'm still using it. Alright, so now this side with the flap that I've still got free is my cover. Alright. And I'll end up gluing the heavier weight card to this piece. But first, before I do that, I'm going to do my cover. Alright, so I have got a selection of paper, and I think this time I might go for it's kind of like a coffee colour with pretty patterning in it. So I'm going to go for that. And what I'm going to do, if you have got one of those scoring boards where you can do all your measurements and everything, and you know, have everything super accurate, go for it. I don't have one of those, so I have to do everything a bit more long-winded. and it's a painful, but it's what I need to do. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to add some PVA glue just to the outer edge of my folio. If it would come together, it would be really good. Cut it out. Yeah, I've been quite busy on this project. I haven't been able to I'm not very good at doing more than one project at a time. Unfortunately for me, I can only get one project one at a time. So, and I wanted to get these done so that I could list them along with the listings of my 2 journals at the same time. And I'm going to put glue in the center of the 2 envelopes. Just so that I know that there's some good coverage. All right. And then I'm going to flip it over. And try and get it so that it's right up to the edges. Okay, I think so. I had to trim the last one, and my trimming skills are just atrocious. And I didn't do a fantastic job, so I had to do a bit of covering up, covering up mistakes and stuff, which is fine once it's all done. But, like everyone else, I'd like to have it all done properly right from the word go. And just smush it all around, smooth it all out so that it comes right to the edges of your envelopes, because you don't want any of that paper lifting. All right, just flip it over and do the same. Here, like so. And now I've got to cut it out, and this is the part that I had trouble with. I've got shocking scissors and none of them seem to cut really, really well. So like so. Just be careful not to cut your envelopes down the side, otherwise you're going to have to re-glue them. Unless, of course, you would like your pocket opening to be there. Right, that's actually not too bad. Now, let me see. Oh, very good. I actually didn't do too bad that time. Thank you very much. Awesome. Yeah, I've been working in the dungeon for the last few days, and I did have to go out briefly to Centrelink. Now, once you've glued it all on, your fold, you'll need to put that fold back in, because the fold is flattened out a little bit. So you'll need to re-establish your crease line, your spine, which I'm doing now. There we go. All right, done. So that bit's easy enough. And now I'm going to work out what I want. Oh no. What do I do? Shall I do mixed media? Yeah, I'm going to do some mixed media. Alright, so that's the front. So this is the top. Okay. Alright. This won't take too long because the paint isn't too thick. If I can get the paint out of the bottle, that would be good. Okay. I better clean those up. I had better clean them up. Right. Okay. So to do this, I just used a bit of white paint, and on my brush I just brushed a bit on here and there and just sort of slapped it around a bit, very sort of slapdash, like so. I'm only using a small brush just so that I can have it a bit more controlled. And I'm not worrying about it being too thick just at this stage. I've got a brayer, so I'll go over it with the brayer. And you just put on as much as you want, as much or as little. You know. Okay, I think that will be enough. And I'm just going to go over it with the brayer, which is stuck to everything. Like so. Okay, that will be enough, and I'm just going to pop that right out of my way. And now I'm going to put some stenciling on, and before I used burnt sienna, but because the paper background is a brownish colour, I'm going to use a different colour instead of the burnt sienna. I'm just using cheap paint. This one's a green, it's called Jade. So I'm just using what I've got pretty much. And my brush is not very good. So I haven't cleaned it, that's what's wrong. Okay. And I've got a stencil of kind of scrolls, and I'm just putting these patterning on in random, and I'm not doing the whole pattern as such. So right, like this. Yeah, I went out, I have been out. I've had to go off to Centrelink because I was one of those people that got caught in the Optus hack, and so I had to sort out my driver's license. But in order to do that, I because I tried to get into my MyGov account online, and I had forgotten my password. Yeah, I'm not one of these ones that writes passwords down. I don't do that. And so, of course, MyGov locked me out. Which was very inconvenient. So in order for me to get back in, I had to create a new account. And because they had locked me out, they had unlinked. I had to redo all my Centrelink app, and I had to go to Centrelink and get new linking code, and all this sitting around and everything. I was really concerned that I'm going to be left having to sit around for hours waiting for my turn to come up while I was in the Centrelink office. Fortunately, I didn't have to. Alright, I'm just going to quickly dry this off with the heat gun. But yeah, so fortunately, I didn't have to wait too long though in the Centrelink office, which was awesome. And I had a really nice gentleman help me to do all my link app and reorganise my MyGov, and yeah, so he was really nice. He was very, very helpful. Now with the napkin, I'm just taking off the 2 backing sheets. So I've just got the printed sheet, and I've got a pretty rose pattern one. I used this on the last one, so I'm going to use it again. And I just took a piece of it. And I might just move this out of the way now. Let the paint. You don't have to do just taking a piece. You can use your whole napkin if you want to. I just want to use a part of it. Now, I think what I'll do is I'll take this bit off here. And this little bit here out, and I'm going to take this rose out because this is like all washed out, this rose, and I'm not liking it too much. So you could cut around it. I don't really care. Like for me, I don't really care about having it torn, because it's going to get glued into the, like I'll glue over the actual where it's glued down. I'll show you when, I can't explain it. It kind of like immerses into the paper. It's like it fades out. I really like that look. So I'm just trying to work out what to do with the arrangement of these roses. So I'm just going to pop that one aside. Just trying to work out where I'm putting, how it's going to be arranged on here. This is the time-consuming bit, I think. Now, do I like it like that? Do I want a bit more on there? I'm not really sure. I'm going to take this heart rose off and see if I can use this piece. This is another one that's kind of, it fades out into nothingness kind of thing. I like that effect. Right, I think I'm just going to go with what I have. Do I want it that way? No, I want it that way. Yes, that way. Yeah, so then after I was into Centrelink, I had to go to the Motor Reg Services SA here, we call it. It's where we do our driver's license and our motor registration, and have them change my license number because of the whole hack thing. My identity was compromised, and it was my driver's license that was the issue. And so I had to have Services SA change my driver's license number so that it couldn't be used to confirm my identity anywhere. And I walked out of the Centrelink, and Service SA is right across from there. Took one look at the line and I thought, no, I'm not doing that. I'll do it online. Which is what I did. Now, when you're doing this, make sure you don't have any air bubbles. If you've got creases, it's not such a big deal, but air bubbles are a big deal because your napkin will tear And if you don't want creases, just put a part of the napkin on at a time. Just do it a little bit at a time. Okay, so now I need my glue, and I'm just going to go over it, and especially on around the outer edges of the print, and sort of try and blend it into the background of the paint work that I've done. Okay. I've got a piece that's lifting because it's not glued. So I'm going to take that off. Does use a bit of your glue stick doing this, but the end result is always good. All right. Now for this one, I'm going to do it a little bit different to how I did the first one that I've done. I'm going to do this one similar to how I did my journal cards, because I actually really liked how they turned out. I can trim that afterwards. Alright, so I'm going to dry off the glue. Alright, that's the messiest part done. Alright, so now I'm going to use my gelatos that I had for my cards, and I'm going to just go a little bit around in certain parts. Of the cover, just random parts on. Popped in to see my daughter the other day. She's been pulling up bulbs out of a garden that I spent years putting together, because of course now it's hers and her brother's house, not mine, and she doesn't like my garden, so she's been pulling up all my plants and tossing them, and she asked me if I wanted some of the arum lilies this time. Yeah, it's arum lilies this time. And I said, yeah, I'll take them. And I took those and some other bulbs that she'd pulled out. And I took some over to my friend's mum. And I haven't done anything with mine yet. They're still in the bag. So right, and talk with her about Christmas and what are we doing for Christmas lunch, and we've worked that out. We're having a cold lunch as we normally do. Now I'm going to use my stamp, and I'm going to use black. Hopefully it's still working. I might just reactivate it with a little bit of water. I don't know if that works, but we'll see. And I'm using a fairly sort of scrolly script. It's a little bit like advertising, I think. And I'm just going to randomly put this on. Hopefully it will mostly stay. Oh, it's sort of faded out a little bit. It hasn't all come up. It's not what I want. Try a different one. Yeah, this one. That's a bit better. And some on the back cover, I think, as well. And a little bit up the top there. There we go. And some on the back. Okay, and another one. Try this one again. Yeah, we're going for our traditional cold lunch. We usually have a few different meats, ham included, and prawns. I love prawns, so prawns are a staple part of the Christmas lunch. Okay, right. So I'm just going to use the heat gun just to dry that off so I can keep going. So now the front cover is all done. It's finished. Front and back. That's the front. That's the back. And I'll pop my crease back in. Okay, I should be able to trim that now. There we go. The heat gun has melted the gum on the flat. There we are. Ah, okay. Alright, so now I'm going to put in that extra page. And I think I'm going to use this for my extra page. So I just need to work out how much I need to cut off. There we go. I'm just going to cut down that fold. Oh. Okay. Right, so for this, I'm going to glue this flap to the back side of I'm gonna, that's it, yeah, that's what I did. Alright, so I'm going to put glue on this part, this flap here, just the flap itself. Alright, and glue that page in. I decided to put this page in because when I was thinking about how many pockets 2 envelopes would give me, I thought maybe I needed extra for what I wanted to do. So, I mean, this is optional. If you don't want to have this extra page in yours, then just don't put it in. Just making sure that I get it right to the edge of the envelope. Okay, where's my cloth tissue thingy that I had? Right. Open it up and smooth it all out so that it's coming to all the edges. Okay. Okay, so now I'm going to work on these 2 sections and then I'll come back to that. So for these 2 sections, I need to stick something pretty on there to cover it up. I've just got this 6x4 paper, so I might use one of those and something a bit more same sort of colouring, but perhaps a bit different. No, I'll have that. Oh, that one's a bit lighter. I might use that on there. Maybe I'll just put those on there. All right. So for these, you need to do the same sort of thing. You need to work out how much you need to cover that envelope. So, and I think I need about that much. And then just cut it off. So I'm not cutting straight, obviously. Let me just check that. No, it's not. Not straight, not at all. And then once you've got that, it goes on there. It glues on just on 3 sides, because you're having a side pocket, or you can have a top opening pocket. I'm just going for a side opening pocket. Okay, so, and I'm going to put in thumb holes, thumb, whatever you call them. One there. And do the same with this one. Oh, and the other thing too is if your envelopes are white on the inside, you'll need to put some paper, glue it in, all right, to cover that section, because the pocket will go here, and you got your thumb hole thing here. So you're going to see a bit of white there. So put a nice piece of paper on the inside there. It only needs to cover half the envelope just to get it in there. Alright, so I'm just going to measure this one. Okay. I thought I was coming down with a cold. I nearly went back to bed this afternoon because I was feeling really tired, washed out, headache. I woke up with a headache this morning. I thought, I haven't had a cold in years. How come I've got a cold? But I feel fine now, so I think it's just my sinuses. I've got terrible sinus issues. Okay, so there's that. Right. Where's my... So then it's just 3 sides. So these are easy. They just take a little bit of time. Minimal planning. Just make sure you don't get your crease compromised there. All right. No. No. Where's my... All right. And I put it on back to front. Here's me saying, cover your... It's all right. I'll slip a piece in there. Silly me, not thinking. All right. So now I've got this problem of white space here. So I'm going to, when that pocket is dry, I will slip a piece of paper in there and glue it down. All right. So for this one, it's going this way. All right, that goes in there. Like so. Now on my last one, I actually put a piece of the paper that I used on the front. I put that on here, and then I did the mixed media again. I still might do that. But I'm going to use this paper. So I'm going to just work out what I need. Or should I use that in there? Oh no, that's all right. I will have a bit left over. I can use that in there. All right. So I'm just going to work out how much I need. Okay. And no, I was going to say, see if I can cut straight this time. There we go. So that's the right way up. And that is going on there. And I'll use PVA glue for this. These soft squeezy bottles are not necessarily easy to get the glue out sometimes, I tell you. It's still slow. All right. Making sure I've got it to the edges. Like so. It's a slight miscalculation, but that's all right, I can trim that. Okay. Lovely. I'll just trim this off. All right. Now while that's drying, I will wipe my table down, get all the glue off my table. Now I'll make the pockets for here. Oh, first I better put that in before I forget. I'm going to use this cutting it to measure, cutting it to size. Still a little bit too long. All right, so if this is dry now, yes, I should be able to slip some glue just along the top edge. Get it in there, right, like so, and then this will slide in. Make sure I got it the right way out because I've got text on there, and yeah, just slide it in. There we are. Okay. That looks better than just plain white there. All right. So, and then what I did for that, this join here, to make sure that everything stays together, I did put some washi tape over there, which I think I'm going to do again, just because this is, I don't know, I get a bit worried about, you know, where paper's been glued and there's edges. So I'm going to glue some washi tape again. Yes, I use this glue. Right, so I'm just going to put I'm going to have the washi tape on this side more than the front. All right. And I'm using this pretty washi tape, so I'm just going to close that up. And pop it on like so. Trim it off and make sure it's trimmed on top and bottom. And then this piece I fold over here. And I'm putting lace on there anyway, so it won't matter. You could do ribbon, or you can do like a lace. You could put lace here instead of washi tape if you wanted to. You could do the same thing with a piece of lace. That would look lovely. Okay. Alright, so that is done. Just going to trim that because that is untidy. That's better. And this just neatening up all my edges. Here we go. Okay, so now we can do pockets. I'll be back in a minute. Okay, I am back and I just checked the first part of the video was quite long. I think even when I edit out the drying off of glue and stuff, it's still going to be long, so I'm not going to be able to embellish, I don't think. I'm gonna do it anyway and we'll see. If I do the embellishing, I won't talk through it and then I can speed it up. Alright, so anyway, let's put pockets on. So for the pockets, what I did was I just worked out what paper I was using. Let's just pick I just picked two different ones and cut them down. So that's what I'll do with this. And of course I'm not straight. There we go. And I'll put in, I worked out the length. Now you can go from this edge to this edge if you choose. I'm just going from here to here, so I'm leaving a gap. Still not quite straight. There we go. Now it is. So I've got one that's about that size. Yeah, it just sits on the thumbnail. On the thumb hole. Jeez. It might be a little bit too tall. I think, yeah. I'm going to just cut it down a little bit more. That's better. And I'm going to put what have I done with it? Here it is. I'm still going to use the big one, but I'm just going to put it in just a fraction. There we go. So that's that one. And I'll use this piece on here. Actually, I might just use this as the template. Right, and put a thumb hole in here. And again, just cut some off. Like that. And then do the same for this one. There we go. And the same for the top one. Alright, so I'll just put a thumb hole in this one and one in this one. Okay. And then these just glue in onto these two sections. like so. And then on this one here, I was going to do some mixed media, but I think I won't. I think I'm just going to put a belly band. Now for a belly band, what I did, because I want to be able to get a few bits and pieces under there, I'm just using one of the offcuts that I've had because it's a good width and it's the right height for the page. But what I want to do is I want to put a gusset in, so I'm just going to fold it under like that, just a fraction on each side. And just, I'm just using my thumb, but you can use your scissor handles or your bone folder. And I'm just going to put glue on this section on both sides. I think I actually put the belly band on that side, but that doesn't matter. It doesn't matter where the corner tuck goes. So I'll do those in a minute. I'll do the corner tuck now. That's going on here. And to do the corner tuck, I used a piece of my napkin. And a piece of the just the paper that I had used for my front cover, for the cover of the folio. So I'm just going to glue a bit of that on. With my glue stick. Like so. Okay. And then I just tore it down for a corner tuck. just measure it up. Like that. Lovely. And for this bit of white edge, I just put a bit of ink, distress ink on there. Like that, and I'm just going to trim this bit off. And then that gets glued on two sides. If the glue comes out, that'd be helpful. There we go. All right, now I'll go in and do these. These are just small pockets for things like tickets and stuff, so they don't need to be too big. These are just for ephemera, you know, happy mail freebies you want to pay forward to somebody. But if you would like a bit more room in these pockets, I would make them a little bit longer in length. So that you can fold the sides in, and also longer in depth, so you can fold the bottom, so you can fold all the sides. Just cut your corners in, and then just fold them up. Alright, so there's two pockets there, and we'll put the other two in. So Right. So that's that part done. So now I'll quickly as I can, I'll go through and embellish and show you how I went about doing the cover. And yeah, I was just scared myself then. I thought I had put it upside down. Oh, goodness me. It's not. It's okay. Alright, I'm just going to get rid of this glue. I noticed. I do not want glue seeping out anywhere. Okay, now, alright, so I'll quickly try and do that as quick as possible. If I can't get it done quick enough, I will show it off at excuse me, at the end of the video. I'm just using lace and stuff that's off my table, by the way. I'm done. I can't wrap it round at the moment because this is still wet, but yeah, it has got a shank on it now, so the lace will wrap around it at least once or twice. So just see if I can get this knotted. There we go. I'll give you a quick look. Did I just tear that? No, that's all right. And so there's a key on the end. Right, so that's the cover. And a tuck spot, which, let me just get a card and show you. Right, and a belly band. And there is a tuck spot here, a pocket, and another pocket. Here we go. And a pocket which I've glued. No. Oh no. There we go. Oh, phew. And there is a pocket there. And there is one there. So that is my folio. And that, yeah, will wrap around like so. There we go. Yeah, like I said, they're time consuming but easy to make, but you could set yourself a project, you know, do them, you get 2 or 3 done in an afternoon, and they make great Happy Mail treats, or just a gift. Who, you know, if you know someone who does junk journaling, they make a great little gift. Fill them with tickets and bits and pieces, and yeah, I think they're really sweet. And these will go nicely with my naked journals. So that's it for me until the next video. So I hope you all stay well and happily crafting, and I will see you in the next video. Bye for now.